Making a Murderer.
Netflix.
And chill.
Welcome back. Time to talk some more Netflix. And this time we're going to talk about an actual show that I learned about before Netflix because one of the people involved, a very important person involved with the show, passed away.
Oh.
Yeah. And that led me to seeing what he had been working on. And when I saw it, I was like, really? That's going to be a thing? I was like, I don't know how that's going to, work out. And then it came up on Netflix, and I was like, Netflix original series? Well, now I got to watch it, because now I have it available to us. And the show I'm talking about is Scream, the television series.
Not the movies.
Not the movies. And if you don't know who I was talking about, shame on you.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
Who?
It's Craven.
Yes. Had to put you on the spot.
Like I wouldn't know.
Yeah, so Wes Craven, the man behind the Scream movies, essentially when he passed away, it seemed like the only thing he was working on there as a producer, he wasn't directing, was the Scream television series. And if you know the Scream movies,
Which you should.
They did have a resurgence of certain genre because of them. You'll be happy to know that the Scream television series essentially plays out like a long version of one of those movies. Right? Like if you think about it, the story arc of a Scream movie is essentially the same as the Scream television series over the course of the entire series. Mm-hmm. Not just, and to a certain extent, some of the episodes. So, what is it about? Well, it's about a killer.
Big surprise.
Big surprise. It's a slasher television series. And in this case, it's essentially a bunch of 90210 type rich kids in high school. And, it's one by one they start getting bumped off. And part of the whole thing with the Scream series is who did it. Always trying to figure out who did it. Mm-hmm. Right?
Well, that's like anything. Usually.
Well, yeah, but it's very much, it's part of the Scream thing. Like, it really is part of that where it's like, we have all of these characters, who's going to die next, right. Who's the killer, just when you think it's going to be that person, we kill them. Right? And essentially, one of the things that they make sure to do with Scream, and this is in general with the franchise, is even the main character could potentially be the killer as well. They're never going to reveal that until the end. So they keep you guessing.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? And I think one of the ways they managed to pull that off with this is via the cast. See, you don't know any of them. You've never heard of any of them. You don't recognize any of them. So there's no chance of going, hey, that person is a named person. They're likely going to be around at the end. So maybe they're the killer. No. Anybody is fair game. Anybody can die. Anybody can be the killer.
Yeah, I was surprised a couple times. I was like, oh, really? Well, because I wanted somebody to die and they wouldn't die.
Yes. And that's the thing. As with any, high school drama type of television series, you're going to have your, your, what would you call it, nerd. You're going to have your jock. You're going to have your popular person. You're going to have your rich, stuck-up person, like the biatch. You're going to have these very stereotypical type characters, and they're here. They're here, very much here. Some of the characters are definitely portrayed so that you like them more than others. And in the case of Leslie, she didn't like one character in particular at all.
No.
And every episode, she's like, God dang it, isn't she going to die yet?
I know. I'm so mean.
And I'll let you watch the series so you can figure out who that is.
Yep.
If you've seen it,
because I can't say
post
now
your
which one I
guesses
didn't
down
like,
below.
because then you'd know.
Yeah,
so
then you'd know. Post your guesses down below. We're not going to tell you if you're right or wrong, but we'd like to just see if you know.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
But well,
you have to swipe it.
Swipe it to swipe. And so yeah, it's I actually really enjoyed it.
I'm surprised you said that. Really?
Yeah, I like the Scream movies.
Oh yeah,
and I like them all. I mean, not everybody likes them all. A lot of people find them a little repetitious. But I just like that whole idea about the Scream movies. I like the concept behind them. I like that you get the killer. I like that you get the people trying to find the killer, and I like trying to guess who the killer is and all that kind of stuff. So, despite the repetition, every single one tried to do something a little different, right? And that's the case here with the television series. Now, being that it's a newer series, and these are all kids in high school, clearly they're going to have a few problems that I never would have had to have run into when I was in high school.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Thanks to things like cell phones and video cameras and all that kind of stuff. So that all plays into the series, which was nice. And not in the sense that, what was it, number 3 or 4, where it was all person's videotaping and it was like, oh, this is the new thing. Not like that. No, this is more just what they have to deal with, right? Like, I mean, I don't know if you had like an AV club or an AV nerd or something like that. Somebody who was in charge of the television and the VCR.
Yeah. VCR. Yeah.
Right, or even earlier, the projector. There's one of those in this show, so of course they have their video camera and their videotaping stuff. But a lot of this is sort of like used to... I don't know. It's not that they're... I mean, some instances are just videotaping for the sake of videotaping. Other instances are videotaping because they want to get something on videotape. And then there's other instances where it's like, I didn't understand why they were videotaping because it didn't really make much sense, but whatever. So they do implement a lot of the technology, and so texting and websites and posting videos and chats and all that kind of stuff is integrated into this. So it is a very modern take and an up-to-date look at Scream and the whole idea of high school and kids and your friends are getting murdered.
Yeah, but you know what? And the thing is, at the very beginning, I kind of felt old. Like, I did, and I thought, oh, this is weird that I'm watching this and everybody's so young and I just feel old. But I got over it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I did. I found that odd. And I did like it. But in the beginning, I think I didn't really like it that much. And I especially found like that one person kind of annoying, which bugged me. But then I kind of didn't, I didn't get over it, but I got used to it. But then I did like it. Yeah. And I liked that they would kind of, well, not like clues, but that they were kind of figuring things out a little bit at a time. And then it had me guessing, right? Okay, who is this? And then I could kind of narrow it down and, and still be surprised a little bit. So it was good. I didn't mind it. It was better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be silly.
Now it does, I mean, the first episode really gets you. First episode, that's when you get your kill. That's your first kill, so it really draws you in. Then it sort of slows down for a little bit. So
Yeah.
don't get your hopes up in the first episode and then die out after 2 and 3 and go, it was just, the first episode and the rest of it's going to be, crap. No, it continues, but you have to, you can't just have every episode somebody gets killed off because you wouldn't have enough characters. Like, then eventually you figure out who it is because there's only 2 people left, right? But no, it's the first episode is very much, it's like the opening of any of the Scream movies. That's the way I looked at it. It is that opening first kill of the Scream movies. That's your first episode, and then you got to play it out, right? And I really enjoyed that. That's why I said I think the television series plays out like a long version of the movie. Okay, and yeah, I don't know. It's I kind of want a season 2.
But then it has to be like, well, no, I guess it doesn't have to be all new. There can be
No, they did leave the end of season 1 open so that there could be a season 2, but I don't know that there's any plans for a season 2.
No, but that storyline would have to be very different because that kind of storyline is closed now.
Yeah. But who knows? Who knows?
But
right?
I mean, they did the movies.
Yeah,
and
the
they
movies
worked,
were able to do it, so who knows what. But interesting things about this is 2 essentially of the oldest characters in this television series were actually not main characters, but they had recurring roles on 90210.
Yeah.
So they were essentially like, teen stars in a way.
Well, they would have been like early 20s then, kind of thing.
Early 20s, teens, somewhere around there, yeah. So it was interesting. What was the other thing that I wanted to mention? There was, I can't remember now.
I don't know.
Why don't you know?
Because you didn't tell me.
That's right.
I'm not psychic, Rob.
You try to be. Oh man, now I forget what I was gonna.
Uh-oh. Maybe you can add it later.
Yeah, maybe. I'll have to. But yeah. Well, I guess that's Scream. There isn't much else to say. If you've seen the movies, you know that it's a television series. And I didn't think it was going to work, but it did. Surprisingly so.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. So, hey, fingers crossed we get a Scream season 2 and we can come back and talk about it here.
And Daredevil's coming back.
Yes, Daredevil.
Unrelated, but
Unrelated completely.
popped out of my
Unrelated completely.
You said season 2, so I'm thinking season 2 and
Unrelated.
you can edit that out.
No.
You're so mean.
Anyways, we've got to go watch Daredevil season 2. So until next time.
Oh, it's not out yet. Well, maybe by the time this is.
Yeah. Take care. Have a good one.